A lot of times the speed limit is like it's respected. People do obey the law. So when they get on, like when you get on there and you're not familiar with how fast you're supposed to be going, you miss your sign or whatnot. Just get behind somebody to see how fast they're doing. And if
That's
it
not
seems
doing it.
reasonable, then you could do it. If they seem too slow, then pass them up. That's just how it works, you know.
I think I do 70.
You do.
Yeah,
Look
I mean
at
that's
you.
the general. That's under Texas speed limit.
The only time she do 70 is when she have on her big girl shades.
Yes, and I know what I'm doing now. Like when I'm in the city, them people don't know how to drive.
Boy,
I'm doing 40.
look,
I'm driving like somebody grandma.
man. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? So in today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about, I guess, German things or things that Germany or Germans do that make more sense. And I should preface this or put in parentheses for an American, because this could be normal in Europe, let's say, or even in other parts of the world. And for me as an American, it's not. So just keep that in mind when I'm talking about these things. So yeah, I'm going to keep this intro relatively short, simple, and sweet. And don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. The first point is going to be the triangle, and me trying to make a triangle with my hands is not really working out, you guys. And the vest that Germans carry in their car. This is not required in the United States, and I always wonder why. And so basically you have this little triangle that has reflecting lights or strips on it, and it's for when you get into an accident. I think you go like 200 steps down the road, you put the little triangle down so people are aware that there's an accident ahead, that there might be people walking around, that there might be debris somewhere, there might be oil spilt somewhere, so people just have a warning of, hey, be alert and be aware. And this also goes for the vests that you keep in your car as well. They're usually these orange or yellow vests that you wear in case of an accident. I believe they have reflecting stripes on them as well. And when you're looking at how accidents are handled and how road safety is handled, it's taken like up a notch. I feel like because of the unbegrenzt, you have no speed limit on the Autobahn in some instances. And so you have to be cautious, you have to be careful, because accidents can happen. And just on roadways in general, regardless of what speed limit you are driving, accidents happen. And so they're trying their best in Germany to prevent other injuries, other accidents, other things that could be associated with, I have no idea, someone being stuck on the side of the road. So the next one, you guys, is going to be something that I found to be extremely funny.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that could be helpful. And
Very
it does
beneficial.
make sense, because like our truckers already do this. You know, they're required to do this. But how many times it's in the news where someone was helping someone on the side of the road, or police was helping someone on the side of the road, and then there's another accident that happens with that accident. We hear of that a lot. Collisions,
head on, ongoing collisions, things of that nature.
Yeah. So
dark roads, foggy streets, especially down here in the south. Like, we got all of that, dark roads, foggy streets. So any accidents that happen, hey, even if it be an officer pulling you over, I'll be like, officer, wait, let me go put my little cone down, because I don't want nobody to hit me. Man, they really have incidents where cars don't see the cops parked on the side of the road with the person they pulled over. Yeah, and it just be like, they have stories like that, bro. Like, it's sad, but them cones are very beneficial. I'm definitely going to invest in one.
Yeah, before we started this video, Dion was talking about things that he wanted to invest in.
That's crazy,
that was one of the things.
That's crazy. Yep.
When I first got to Germany, I mean, now it's pretty normal, but when I first got here and I was driving on the Autobahn, I remember like a Volkswagen Passat or a Skoda Octavia, I think they're called, coming up behind me, and there was a hitch, like, and on that hitch they were towing a little camper, a little sleeper, and I was just like, and they were Richtung Gardasee, wahrscheinlich für der Familienurlaub, and I was like, what the heck is this? A car, a multifunctional family automobile is pulling a camper behind them? In the United States, we do not do this. Like, the association of towing does not relate to family vehicles or sedans or four-door compact hatchbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, but our SUV could tow.
Yeah. Well, it's
vehicle.
it's like a.
It's not
it
on
depends.
every car.
Yeah, it depends on what type of bag you got on there. So.
Yeah, see, ours on there. That's why I was like, hold up, ours on there.
Yeah, some people even get it welded on there too. So you know what I'm saying. But I mean, our bumpers and stuff, like, we're more cautious with that. We don't want to see that rip off. Because I don't think some of them cars be built for that.
Yeah, with the smaller vehicles. Okay. I got some strong cars, I guess.
Let's see.
Station wagon vehicles, it just does not happen. You usually have a truck, a big old working van, or an SUV, because you need the Super Duty King Ranch limited edition 4x4 lifted 2730 rims with the blah, blah, blah. You need all of You need all of these things to be able to tow, and it's just not even in the back of Americans' minds or even at the front of Americans' minds to tow something with their tiny Toyota Corolla. But I think this makes sense because it allows you to do a lot more with your vehicle. The practicality of your vehicle in Germany, I feel like you get a lot more use out of your vehicle than you do in the United States. So the next point, you guys, is going to be hard for me to explain it to you guys.
The only time you're going to see that if it's like real desperate measures. That's the only time.
A small car.
Yeah, unless you see, or somebody's car is like in a ditch or something, and you got somebody just passing, or you know a friend who got a vehicle like that, very small. Yeah, they gonna pull it together now.
Yeah.
But you won't see nobody hauling across the states with a little car and a big camper.
Nah. No.
That's gonna get side-eyed.
I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and it's going to be the general speed limits in specific areas here. I find this to be a really cool concept. I feel like it makes sense. At first, I really thought it was very confusing. I still find it to be very confusing because I don't drive that often, but I feel like if I did, it would be a lot easier than in the United States. In Germany, I feel like you drive based on general signs and a general base understanding of, like, these are the rules and this is what happens. And these rules are usually on signs that have specific symbols, numbers, or pictures on them. And so for general speed limits, I think when you're driving into a yellow sign that has a city or a district name on it, I think you have to either go 50 or 30. I don't know which one it is, you guys. I know that it's lower though. And then once you drive out of that city or district, there'll be another little sign with a line through it, which means you are leaving now, and then you can speed up, usually to around 100 kilometers per hour. I could be wrong, like I said, and I might correct myself if I am wrong. And if you drive into a city,
when we passing through a little city and everything, okay, they got it. Look like that's what it is. But it'd be like, bro, we be going 80, and then we enter a town, and the speed just dropped to 40. 80? Well, okay, me.
He always telling on himself.
We be doing like 60.
We go 80.
You remember that one time we was driving? I forgot where we was headed to, but the speed limit was 60, and we was like, we always watch for cops, right? Because for our reasons. And then the speed limit just drastically dropped to like 40.
Okay.
And we'd be like, I don't.
Small town.
Yeah, it's like I don't like that.
Like,
I don't like that.
If that is the major road for a small town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The connection.
Yeah, it goes down. I'm trying to understand.
Main city, I think it's either 30 or 50 as well. And then when you get into the Autobahn, they have signs that have, lines through them. That means you can go as fast as you want. But generally speaking, you drive like 100 or 120. And then if there's a sign that says 80, you slow down. But it's like, you just know these things. You don't really need the signs. Like, some signs advise you what to do, but it's not based, like, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Like, I feel like Germans know what I'm talking about, but Americans won't know, because when you're in the United States, it's like 45 here, 35 here, 50 here, 65 there, 70 there, and it's constantly changing, and you don't know. You have no clear understanding of how fast do I.
Okay, so I forgot to mention that in the USA, if you miss a sign, you basically have no idea how fast you are allowed to drive. In Germany, you can use your surroundings to have a general overview of a correct speed limit to use. For example, in Germany, if you are in the city, you drive 30 to 50 kilometers. why it don't sound right to me. And nothing really in between. In the USA, it could be anywhere from 20 to 45 miles per hour. Yes, I feel like she is correct with that. But like if you are in a city, you generally should know the speed limits of the major roads. Like if it's in city limits, like of a small town, the roads are generally 35. If it's like a 2-lane little, not highway, what do you call it? 2-lane streets? 2-lane streets, but the 4. Like 2 lanes this way, 2 lanes that way. Yeah, I can't think of the term, but that is generally 55, 65. Like it goes up by 10 in small towns. It just depends on the town. You should generally know what you're doing. Now, if you are someone who's visiting, then I can see where you're like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and in Louisiana, our highways, you do 70. That's why I'm like, I don't know what Dion's talking about, the 80. But in Texas, the speed limit is 75.
It's 80 to me too.
No,
it is. It's 80 to me too. Yeah. But
I still don't know the freeways in Dallas. I don't know the speed limit.
Hey, I don't
know.
70? Get behind somebody, see what they doing. Cause a lot of times, bro.
Texas.
A lot of times the speed limit is like, it's respected. People do obey the law. So when they get on, like when you get on there and you're not familiar with how fast you're supposed to be going, you miss your sign or whatnot, just get behind somebody, see how fast they're doing. And if it seems reasonable, then you could do it. If they seem too slow, then pass them up. That's just how it works, you know?
I think I do 70.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, that's the general, that's under Texas speed limit.
The only time she do 70 is when she have on her big girl shades.
Yes, and I know what I'm doing. Now, like when I'm in the city, them people don't know how to drive.
Boy.
I'm doing 40.
Look.
I'm driving like somebody's grandma.
Drive here, how fast am I allowed to drive here? It's ever changing. And in Germany, that's not the case. And Mike, he was a little confused when he first came to the United States and was driving, because he was like, well, how fast do I go here? And I'm like, oh, it's 45. And he's like, but how do you know that? I said, oh, there's a sign that says 45, and until you see the next sign, that's how it works. And he's like, but what happens if like you drive into a city and you don't change? And I'm like, no, you just drive whatever this little sign is. And he's like, but they're not all consistent. And I'm like, no, every place is different. So the next point is going to be fund, you guys. And this is something that I've talked about all the time on my channel, but I feel like in 2022, they implemented a new rule / law / legislation, regulation. And it is that I think every plastic container up to 3 liters has to have fund on it. Or it might be every container, but I'm pretty sure it's every plastic container. When you buy something, you pay a deposit on it, and you get that deposit back when you return the bottle. And the reason I think this is such a good idea is because I think maybe it would help people in the United States take a second look at how much they are consuming, and it would actually make the plastic end up in the right spot. I feel like littering is a big thing everywhere in the world. I've seen it happen in Germany, I've seen it happen in the United States, but I do feel like in the United States we are so, how do you say, like,
don't care,
so removed from how much we consume, because it's just so normalized, and we have no real consequences for what we do. In Germany, it's like, I have to pay, or I pay 25 cents, and you may be thinking, oh, it's only 25 cents, but that 25 cents adds up. If you were to take all of the fund that I have collected since living in Germany, we would probably have like hundreds or thousands of euros that I have spent and like recollected for my plastic bottles, and that is a lot of money. And this is why I think it's a very good idea, because it makes people reevaluate how much they consume. The next point is going to be a little bit controversial, and there are some con aspects that I might make a video tailored to regarding this in the future, but I want to talk about the positive aspects of this point, and it is splitting kids up to go to different types of schools. Now, like I said, this is not a perfect system. It has its flaws. There have been studies about this. People have made videos about this, talking about the flaws of this system. But I do like the general idea that children can go to different levels of school or different pathways for education in Germany. There are 3 different options, I believe, that German children can take, and they're split up at an early age. They get pushed into those schools. Now, I I will talk a little bit about the flaws, you guys, because I just can't not talk about this point. I do feel like it happens maybe too young, and sometimes kids are pushed to do stuff based on their economic or social standing, and maybe not based on their merit or their grades or their success level. But I do think if this was maybe worked on a little bit, and maybe a little bit more time and effort and resources were put into this system and making it, you know, just a more functional system, then I would say it is a perfect system, because I've said this many times before, not everyone is made for the traditional school route. Not everyone is made to go to high school, to go to college, to go to university, to get their master's and work as a CEO at this company, or work as a marketing manager, or doing all these things. Some people like construction, some people like working on cars, some people like working as teachers, some people like working as models, some people like working as photographers. And so I do think that this could be a very encompassing school system, but it just needs to work out its tweaks. So the next point, you guys, is going to be something that I already talked about.
We have talked about the school system on the channel before, and that had some good points to it, but I feel like here, before we can do anything like that, I don't know if that will work here. I don't know. I don't know if that will work here, because it's so, everybody don't like the public school system. There's a lot that needs to be worked on with the public school system already. And because parents do have the options of where they want to send their children to school here. Yeah. If they want to send their children to public school, they can do that. If they want to send their children to private, they can do that. If they want to send their children to charter school, they can do that. If they want to homeschool their children, they can do that. I feel like our systems just needs to be worked on before we could bring in more things. Yeah, before we bring it, because we let outside problems alter how we operate in the system, instead of letting how we should operate in the fix the outside problem, so we don't have to, you know, move according to what the problem is, so we can move better to better benefit the students and the teachers and the parents and things of that nature. Yeah, we a little jacked up. Yeah, but one thing I can say is that I like that we do have the option of choosing where we want to send our children to school at. Yeah. Like, I like that. Yeah. These are our children. These are not the government children. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. You know, so parents get a nice say so when it's turn things. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's pretty funny, and I think it's an interesting point, because so many people were confused about it when I talked about it in my previous video, and it is that you can pay for your gas after you pump. I'm trying to think if that's the right way to word it. So yeah, in the United States, you usually pay beforehand, meaning you put your credit card, debit card in the little machine at the gas station, and then you just pump your tank full, or you put however much money you want to put in there. Or you have the option of going in and telling the cashier that you want to put 20 on pump 1. And a lot of people were like, but how do you know when you do that how much you pay or how much gas you need? And I was like, you don't, you just guess. And I think that the German method makes more sense, because it's true, you do guess in the United States. And this has happened to me, like, from both ends of the spectrum, where you say, okay, I want to put 20 on pump 1, and then your car needs like $23. And it's like, it's not full. Like, it bothers me when I put so much money in the like tank, and then it's only like this small from being full. I don't know if I have an issue with this, but it really
if it's cash. If it's cash, if it's credit or whatnot, then it would just come back to your account. See, my broke college school days taught me a lot about pumping gas and how to calculate how much is going to be in the gas. So I generally know how much to put in my tank for it to be full. Beauty in the struggle. Oh, you gotta love your vehicle. Beauty in the struggle. Gotta love your vehicle, man. See, those humble beginnings taught us so much. You talking right now? You talking? You talking right? Yeah. I don't really have that problem. I just know how much to put in there, and it'd be full. Man, you know what? I fill her up. Period. Yeah. Never let the boy get to eat. Like, put it all the way up to the top. And like, there's these stores that have, if you grocery shop at a store, you get points back for gas. So where it'll take off cents on your gas. Now that could be a little confusing for people who who have to be like, how much are you putting? How much do you need, and things of that nature, and how much is gonna. And you have this much stuff, like, they could be confused with the points, because then you got to calculate. But we haven't paid full price for gas in so long, because we have those cards. It's a nice little discount, too. Yeah.
like irks me. Or you have the other end of the spectrum where you put 20 bucks in and your car only needed $18.15. Then you gotta go into the gas station and get your $1.85 change back. And it varies from gas station to gas station. It's not like one umbrella rule that it's like, oh, you go into the gas station and get your change back. No, every gas station is different. I went into a gas station in the United States when I was visiting, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to ask you, do I need to get my change after? Or does it automatically go back on my card? And he's like, you just come back in and I give you the change cash even though you paid with a card. He said, but the gas station down the street, they don't do that. You just drive off and you get your change credited back to your card. And I was like, what? How? I understand why they don't do it in the United States, you guys, and it's because so many people would steal gas, so many people would drive away. There aren't enough honest people in the United States to make this happen. Too many bad apples ruin the bunch. So the last and final point, you guys, I feel like is going to have the biggest impact on the United States, or would have the biggest impact on the United States, and it is plastic bags not being allowed in a lot of retail stores in Germany. This is something that is quite interesting to me, and an observation that I've made over the years living here is that when a new law, regulation, or rule is implemented in Germany, as long as it's not too burdensome, if it helps a general population and it's not too hard to implement in your daily life, people are pretty chill when it comes to just rolling with the punches and going with the flow. And this is for every aspect of life. And so plastic bags were banned and there was no uproar here. People weren't in the streets, you know, protesting about the plastic bag.
You know what? My grandmothers would be the ones who will be protesting. Not really. They're not going to get out there and protest over no bag, but they're just not going to go to them stores. Like, I remember there was this one store we was going to. It was a holiday. And when we was walking into the store, she was like, we ain't going to get a lot of stuff here because they don't give you no bags.
Right.
And I forgot to get my reusable bags from the house. Like, she was so bad. She was like, let's go to Walmart.
We was going to shop at a location. And,
in California?
No. It was out here. I think it was Aldi's. Yeah. We was going to shop to Aldi's and we forgot our bag. We had to turn around. Because I wasn't about to just throw everything in the trunk.
Right.
No way. Nah. I ain't doing that.
Or going crazy on social media about plastic bags. But I remember at certain McDonald's in the United States, they started charging 25 cents for extra sauces. Now it was because a lot of franchises, they had to A, pay for them themselves, and B, they were just trying to cut back on how much plastic they gave. And so you would buy 10 chicken nuggets, you'd probably get 2 to 3 sauces, and there would be people who would be like, I need 10 sweet and sour sauces for my chicken nuggets. And then they're like, okay, that'd be 25 cents each. And people were in an uproar.
Nah, bro, all you gotta do is go to the window and be like, hey, can you toss me a few sauces real quick? Okay. Now, if it's one of the people that's like literally about a book, I'm talking about a book, so you're gonna get one sauce.
Yes, one.
But if you just go up there, you know, you be friendly and whatnot and talk to them, be like, yo, real quick, man, I'm on a rush. Can you like toss me a few? What kind you want? Such and such? Here you go. They give you a handful. Or they throw it in a bag. Ask them fill the bag up with some sauce and give it to you. Not open the liquids and do it like that. Like leave it in the pack.
See, I'm not a sauce person, so that really don't bother me.
I mean, I remember one day I needed some jelly and they just gave me a fistful of ketchup. Yeah. They give you a fistful of Popeyes.
Yeah, but the bags, that would be something like if they ban the bags nationwide, that'd be something I would have to get used to. But it's nothing to just buy the reusable bags. You know?
Or they can just be like Taco Bell and just put all the sauces in the lobby.
Taco Bell, the bottom of your bag is full of sauce.
Or grease. Okay, I quit.
My sweet and sour sauce, and if I can't get 10 plastic things of it, then it's communism. And I'm just like, what is going on? This can't be real life. And I always find it to be very interesting how like societies react to these things. Germans are, it's whatever, no big deal, doesn't really bother me that much, and what's 25 cents? In the United States, oh my gosh, it's such an inconvenience, my life is ruined, and I'm suffering. And that is the same with plastic bags in the United States. I know that some states, maybe not states, maybe certain cities, districts, counties have banned plastic bags, but they are still very prevalent in the United States. For the United States to completely ban, let's say, plastic bags at grocery stores, I feel like would cause an uproar. I honestly feel like people would protest in the streets because of this. And it's so crazy to me because there are so many places in the world where people don't use plastic bags and they're perfectly fine. They're not dying on the side of the street. They're not having to, I mean, maybe they have to carry a few extra bags with their groceries, but it's just like, I think it would be such a positive impact. It would get rid of so many plastic bags that people use on a daily basis that they have no Überblick. They have no understanding of how much plastic they consume when it comes to grocery shopping and using these single-use plastic bags and maybe using 5 to cover their milk or wrap their eggs in a bunch of plastic bags. People just, they've lost all control of how much they're consuming. And so I think the best way, you know, this is maybe the same, and this is why they did it in Germany as well. The best way to stop consumption of these things, because you don't necessarily need them, is to just ban them outright. Now, I do think there are certain instances where people will argue with me and say, oh, well, you need plastic bags for this or you need plastic bags for that. And that is very true. There are some instances where maybe you do need a plastic bag or like a plastic straw or a plastic cup. There are some instances where maybe you do need this, but for the majority of the time you probably don't, and you'll be fine without it. But yeah, those are all the points, you guys, and these were all of the things that...
All right, man, some good points. For the plastic bags, there's a good way to it and a bad way to it. The good way for it for me is, you know what I'm saying, we shop in bulk, and for people who like to shop in bulk as well. And for people who don't know how to limit their shopping habits, people be able to fill their products to a certain amount. They'll limit themselves so they can only know to spend this amount of money. They won't be overindulging in products because they got the space to do it. And another thing is, I just don't like when I'm checking out and I'm fighting with that bag to open.
They do a little water on the side.
Yeah, bro. Like, I just don't like that part. And then we got bags that we could use for, like, you know how we do, like little trash bag here and there.
I'm telling you,
they got a benefit, you know.
We have not always been like conscious of recycling and things like that in our family and in our culture. But
younger age. It was at one point. It was a go.
But there's 2 things we have always recycled, and that has been cans and bags, plastic bags. We have always had plastic bags everywhere.
Yeah, plastic bags
everywhere. Like that's something that we need for some reason. Yeah. I don't know. Grandma taught us right.
Flour, grease.
Yeah.
What else?
Something.
Shower help.
When you run out of shower
outside
caps.
when it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, bags goes a long way.
Carry your books.
Carry your books.
And have a book bag. First day of school. I'm from the struggle.
There you go. There you go.
A true rags to riches story.
That one quarter of egg is gonna make it in that bag by itself.
Yes, by itself.
But that one bag of meat with the bread, but that one bag of meat gonna have like 5 bags.
Yeah, we don't need no blood leaking in the car.
None of that. I don't know what y'all doing with y'all milk though. Why y'all need 5 bags?
Yeah,
of milk?
I don't know about that.
That's funny. That is too funny. I couldn't see myself walking out with all them bags for 1 bag, 1 milk. Nah. No, sir.
Yeah, but this was a cool video.
Facts.
We hope you guys enjoyed it with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon. Peace.